Welcome back, everybody, to the Jason Show at Home Edition. I'm Jace, not live, but we're here in my actually podcast studio here in the North Loop. Well, speaking of the North Loop, it is known to be one, if not the hottest food spot in the Twin Cities. And right now, other than thinking about grocery workers and healthcare folks, another industry that's getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so, is the restaurant industry. And here to talk about that and basically just to find out how she's doing in quarantine, ladies and gentlemen, look, it's our foodie Fanny. It's Stephanie Hansen, everybody. Hi,
Hi,
Hansen.
friend. Hi, Jace. How you doing?
Well, good. I mean, I want to start with just saying, just asking, on a human to human level, um, how are you doing? How are you
I'm
handling
good.
all this?
Okay, first of all, my roots are getting a little long and
Well, I
tired.
was gonna say, can we acknowledge we are both? I'm like, I have never worn a hat on television ever. For years I didn't think I looked good in hats because I have a giant physical head. So can we both acknowledge that we are representing? Because this is supposed to be twin season. So I'm wearing the twins, and look, our boss.
I'm wearing my University of Minnesota sweatshirt. My daughter's a student. I'm trying to support the state of Minnesota and Governor Walz. Whoop,
That's
whoop.
right. That's right. But okay, so back to how are you just on a human level? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I think we're 3 weeks out now. That first week was real rough. The restaurant industry was going through a crisis 10 times a day, literally. Information was changing. People were deciding, are they staying open? Are they closing? To move an entire restaurant operation to takeout is not as easy as it sounds. Just imagine, like, first of all, you have to lay off your workers in a lot of cases because you're going to be closed indefinitely. And then just trying to get like the paper bags
Yeah.
and all of that kind of infrastructure together. And then you're worried about
Yeah,
safety. You're
girl,
worried
girl, girl,
about
girl.
your
I want to get to the restaurants, but I was trying to be nice. I was asking, I just want to know about you. I want to know how, look at you. You go right into, we are going to talk about the restaurants, you goof, but I want,
okay. You want to know about me?
I,
I'm going
we,
to give you
be,
the real
yes, because we've
411.
been off the air. We've been doing reruns for about a month, and people want to know how you're doing, and Aaron Schwab and Miss Shannon and Jeff and Ted.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll
I'll
we'll
give you the real honest
I
answer.
want that's why I'm
Okay.
so glad we're back on the air, because though we're a goofy light show, I want to have some real conversations. I want to take advantage of the moment we're living in. How you doing?
Week one, I was a wreck. I am a pandemic prepared person. So I had things like masks and gloves and food and yeast and flour. I had already started preparing for that in early February. So from that standpoint, I felt like I had all the stuff I needed, but I was just devastated. It was scary. I was feeling very stressed out about my work, for my friends, for my family. I still have not seen my daughter other than 6 feet away more than a couple times. My husband was recovering from a respiratory illness earlier this winter. So that was weighing heavily on our minds. We were quarantined ourselves just to make sure we didn't, they said he had pneumonia, but we don't know what he had really. So
I was going to
today
ask
I'm so much
Steph, how
better.
scary was that? I didn't even think about it. How scary was that with Kurt? Because correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to get up into your business, but he had it as the pandemic exploded. Am I right on that?
Well, so we had traveled at the end of January, and on February 4th, he had gone to the hospital because he couldn't breathe. And they had diagnosed him with pneumonia, and they checked him into the hospital and given him a bunch of respiratory treatments. That he came home the next day and he was still working through those. And for about 7 weeks, he was on nebulizers, all these different inhalers, and really not able to breathe very well. And the only real explanation has ever been respiratory distress. I don't know. Did he encounter some viral thing along the way?
Did he
He
have it
never
and it
had
was,
the fevers that people talk about. Yeah, we don't know.
yeah.
And in some ways, I'm just dying. I want there to be a test so we could find out if he did, because then I would be feeling like I could see my 87-year-old mother-in-law. I could potentially see my kid. Right now, I'm just still so cautious because while he's doing a lot better, he still has asthma, and I think that's an immune compromised situation.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I'm drinking a lot less Jane. I
Jane,
just
did you
called you
just
Jane.
call me Jane?
I meant to say
Yeah,
Jason. It
I
just
know.
came out a moment
Wow, you're
ago.
drinking less, and then you call me Jane. Okay, you're really making your case there, Hanson.
No, like in the beginning, I just was like drinking wine and 6 o'clock cocktail Zooms with everyone. And finally, I realized, like, wow, I think I've drank 9 nights in a row. Now, for me, I go out a lot. So it's not unusual to have wine with dinner, but 9 nights in a row was feeling a little extreme. So I have moderated myself. I've actually lost a little weight. I've started running again. So health wise, personally, I think I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to deal with the mental effects of what it's like to be in your house for five
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, now, okay, now I want to get now, Hanson. We can talk about restaurants. Hanson and I are both. Hanson's very, very connected, as is our friend Stephanie March. They do obviously the weekly dish. As we sit here, a month and a couple weeks in, what are you hearing from the restaurant industry folks? How can people help, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I think that in general, we're sort of in a holding pattern. So people that felt like they needed to close right away did. People that felt like they could pivot have. There are some people that were closed early on, like Ola Arepa and Hi Hi, that closed early on and have now opened up. One thing that I've seen that's been kind of surprising is how fast these restaurants and family farms too, and farms have become like pantries. So some of these restaurants are carrying their producers like duck, like Meritage, for instance, is selling duck curbside pickup. Um, Red Cow is doing cocktail kits, and they're doing these burger cook at home kits for take and make.
We're gonna have Josh Toma from Smack Shack on soon. Josh is doing like Red Cow cooking classes. They sell the kit. Josh does a cooking class that everyone can
Yep.
watch. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant, and it's a surprising space for the restaurants to fill. But if you've talked to any, like, I don't want to say just moms, but moms and dads that are responsible for meals with kids at home right now, they're going crazy. They're not used to cooking, 3 meals a day, and their repertoire is dry. They're trying to cook with different pantry items that they have in their house. So the idea that they can pick up some prepared meals is really appealing to them.
Yeah. Okay, so people can do that. Are you saying? I think what I'm hearing you say is when you said you're surprised, because I am too in a great way. I think always trying to see the positive. I have been motivated. I have been inspired by the innovation and the kick buttness of the Twin Cities restaurant scene. Am I hearing you right? Is that what you're saying?
It's been phenomenal, both from the restaurateurs to the farmers to the delivery drivers to how fast people have modified this technology to, using an example of someone that, you used to be able to order your burgers and your fries and your cheese curds. Well, now you can add your cocktail kit or you can add a pound of potatoes because they happen to have that in their storeroom, or you can buy 4 steaks. Like, it's just really incredible how the restaurants are also incorporating some of their farm partners. And it's fascinating. Another great story is Sims from Doomtree. His wife is a partner in Muddy Waters Cafe, and they have like built this thing that's sort of like a takeout window that goes over the front
Yeah.
door, and you can repurpose it when this is over to work as a trade show booth or to do an outside like pickup stand. They're just really clever about ways that they're trying to keep everybody safe. And honestly, I don't know any other industry that could be this
Yeah.
nimble and act this fast. These restaurant people are creatives. They're like artists, right? And their just livelihood is at stake. So they're figuring out, some people are giving you a mask with your order. Like, I just really think it's been super cool. And that's been the silver
Yeah.
lining.
Well, come back. I mean, we're out of time already, but Steph will be back.
Oh yeah.
We have so much more to talk about. Thank you for getting dressed up today, as did I. We both dressed up in our sweatshirts to know. Yeah, I know, but we're purposely representing because we
Yes.
should be at a Twins game right now, right, Steph?
Hey,
Yeah.
Jace, I just want to say welcome back for everybody. You've been very missed. It's not been the same. I've been getting you on the radio, but it's good to see your face. I want to see your hair. Have you had a haircut?
Stephanie Hansen, everybody. Thank you. Bye, Steph. That's right. Steph will be back very, very soon, and we will be back to wrap things up right after this.